Alrighty. Well, there's a bit of a news this is probably old news, but it may very well have been enacted not so long ago, because when this was news, it was July 2014. It was a proposal, I believe, well, I don't know, but I wouldn't be terribly surprised if it actually has been enacted already. I heard a little while ago that manufacturing figures in the States were looking reasonably alright. But back in July 2014, there was something that occurred. There was a bunch of federal agencies grouped under the ECPC, which means the Economic Classification Policy Committee. Long story short, these guys are great. If they don't like something, they just change the definition of whatever they don't like, so then it looks better, and then they like it, and then it's all fine again. You may have heard about shenanigans going on with the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, where they, get meat, and it may be, Consumer Price Index is basically a basket of consumer goods at retail price, I believe it's retail price, to give you a general idea of what the inflation's like. And some of those things are just everyday grocery items and whatnot. And they may get steak one year and say, okay, that's meat, steak, yep, it's like this. And the next year they look at steak and go, oh, it's gone up a bit, can we substitute? And so they go and use hamburger patties or hot dogs or some shit like that to substitute. And they'll pick whatever one hasn't gone up as much to make it look like the inflation's not bad. They tried one which, there's a lot of men in the economic world and Wall Street and stuff like that, and there's not a great deal amount of women, but it didn't get past the women. That they actually changed, lipstick was one of the things in there. They substituted it for lip gloss. And any woman will tell you that lip gloss is in no way lipstick. It's not even in the same realm, really speaking. Bloody hell, I wear lip gloss sometimes. But let's not go there. I get cracked lips pretty easily. Anyway, it wouldn't be only the CPI that they like fiddling with to suit. The ECPC, which you won't find much about, by the way, if you go ECPC, you'll see enhanced cost per click and all this friggin' baloney that you might get up to $1 per click with ads. Well, that's funny. It's actually about 6 cents from memory. And that's a good rate, 6 cents per ad per click. But ECPC is enhanced cost per click. It is also emergency blah 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 something or other under the Department of Homeland Security. To find much on the whatever I said before, Economic Classification Policy Committee, you might be scrambling a fair bit, because I couldn't see that much on it very easily. Now, what they've decided to do is they don't like the manufacturing figures coming out. Doesn't look too good when everything's made in China. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the classification of what it means to have something made in the US. Take the iPhone, for instance. I believe the processors are made in the United States. I didn't know exactly what state they were made in, but I can't remember now. But anyway, they send those processors to China, and they go to Foxconn factories there where they make iPhones, and then those iPhones get sent back to America or to Australia or to Europe, and some of them are sold in China itself. And basically, you would look at all that and say, well, the US manufacturing there is the processors. Well, the ECPC likes to think not. Because it doesn't look good to only have processors as being the only thing being manufactured. So they want to pump it up a little bit. So they've decided that even though the iPhone's made in China, along with the iPad and all that, they're going to class it as American manufacturing because it's an American company. Apple's an American company. We all know that. So, you know, therefore, what we want to do is get Foxconn and all the other Chinese subcontractors and put those people down and list them and classify them as service providers to Apple, and then your processor designers, software developers, marketing people, you know, your warehousing people inside the United States, your brand managers, your PR guys, then become classified as, how's this for a flaming oxymoron? Factoryless manufacturing workers. That's glorious, you know. So then, with all the iPhones that go from China to Australia, that whole iPhone that gets sent here and to Europe and wherever else except the United States, well, I think including the United States, is then classed as US manufactured goods, even though it's not actually made in the US except the processor. Alrighty then. So I'm just telling you, if you see these good manufacturing figures, which you probably have a few months ago, and other things that are looking sort of rosy, you might want to check what the classification is. You might want to really dig in and find out for real, is this manufactured in the US or is this manufactured by factoryless manufacturing workers? And a lot of this is just an attempt to make things seem rosier than they actually are. And in reality, it's, like I always say, it's one thing to lie to somebody else, and it's something real bad to lie to yourself. And these guys are trying to lie to everyone else and all that just to keep the confidence up in the market, keep the confidence up in the US. Oh, look, Obama's doing so. Oh, look, see, I told you, we're coming back. Manufacturing figures are better. Starts to make you wonder how many other things are getting tweaked as well. Probably a flaming lot. But anyway, that's just something for you guys to keep in mind. You know, it's always good to know what's really going on as opposed to just take it as they tell you. And so I'm telling you what's really going on with your manufacturing figures.